Day, June 30th, 1985, Julia and Julio arrived home after 11 p.m. Despite the fatigue, Julia began praying the rosary. The time was almost midnight. While praying the rosary, Julia noticed a few teardrops from the eyes of Our Lady's statue. In total surprise, she woke up her husband and they together verified the tears. For the first few days, they were very cautious and tried to prevent the news from spreading. However, the word spread fast and people came in hundreds and thousands per day to see the weeping statue of Our Lady. There were so many people in Julia's house every day that Julia, Julio, and their children did not know where to eat and where to sleep. The Naju parish priest and sisters also came and prayed before the statue. Archbishop Yoon in the Naju area also called in the pastor of Naju for information and asked him to keep him informed about the progress. For the next 7 years until January 14, 1992, the Blessed Mother wept tears and tears of blood through her statue in Naju for a total of exactly 700 days. According to Father Raymond Spies, Julia's spiritual director, this number, 700, means an extremely strong emphasis that the Blessed Mother weeps for each and every one of us all the time, even when tears are not visible, because of her intense and boundless love for us and our repeated failures to understand and respond to that love. As some specific reasons for her deep sorrows, Our Lady mentioned the numerous precious babies who are being killed in their mothers' wombs, our indifference to her divine Son in the Blessed Sacrament, and the many sacrilegious communions that are being committed all over the world, broken families and the lack of love and harmony in many families, our hating and speaking ill of each other instead of forgiving each other, our persistent failure to understand the Blessed Mother's essential role for our salvation and for the vitality of the Church, and most of all, the numerous souls who fall into eternal perdition, refusing to repent until their last moment. This enormous suffering by the Blessed Mother, as manifested by these tears and tears of blood, is also a heavenly reminder to us of Our Lady's role as the co-redemptrix, who stands under the cross and suffers constantly together with her divine Son for the salvation of all humans. It is also a powerful invitation to all of us to carry our own crosses day after day and help save our fellow humans. The tears of blood have been tested in the medical laboratory of Seoul National University and found to be human blood. Most amazingly, it was the blood of not one, but two persons, obviously Jesus and Mary. Tablecloth and pillows that absorbed some of the tears of blood under the statue are being preserved for any further testing.
세 개가 사람의 유전자가 들어있는 그런 악어물로 판명이 됐습니다. 이거는 한 사람 게 아니라 적어도 2사람 이상의 사람 피일 거다. 이렇게 이 밴드 상황은.
Along with the miracle of tears and tears of blood, Julia asked the Lord to give her more sufferings for the conversion of sinners in 1982, 3 years before the Tears from Our Lady statue began. Her prayer was granted, and she frequently undergoes extreme pains in her brain, eyes, ears, stomach, and womb in reparation for numerous sins in the world, including abortions. She received the stigmata, the 5 wounds of Christ, while suffering the pains of the crucifixion. The wounds were visible for some time, but later became invisible when Julia asked the Lord to help her avoid drawing attention from others. Even though the wounds are hidden, Julia continues suffering the pains frequently. On October 14, 1989, Father Raymond and Father Louis Bosmas visited Naju and witnessed Julia suffering the pains of the crucifixion in the chapel. Julia was undergoing the same pains that Jesus suffered on the cross from Our Lady statue, and Julia's frequent sufferings vividly show us that we can arrive at eternal glory only through the cross. There are visual lessons for us that our sufferings and sacrifices, when combined with those of Jesus and Mary, can lead us to eternal joy and the conversion of many sinners. Julia received the stigmata during an earlier suffering of the pains of the crucifixion in a monastery. There also were scratch marks on her face and arms caused by the devil. Julia is suffering the pains of an unborn baby during abortion. Like the baby, Julia is screaming to the mother to stop the abortion.
마리아의 도와서 세상 되시며